welcome so much, sir. And we get direct now into your ambitions to get to the top of course, in terms of leadership in this nation. And the question would be this morning, the first question would be, we look at what is happening in our nation, currently happening in our nation, the rising standard of living. What would be your view? What would be the solution in terms of curbing the rising standard of living? We are talking about now taxation that is getting up every day. What would be your view on the rising standard of living in our nation?
Yeah, so I have a broad answer, but let me summarize it in the following way. First of all, nobody can deny that we are in trouble. I mean, the average Kenyan knows that if we go on like this, we will not have a country anymore pretty soon. And we actually all know where the problem is. The problem is not that we lack resources, because Kenya is blessed. Kenya is so blessed. Tuna rasilimali nyingi tu. So we are so blessed. But the problem is that a few people have decided that they're going to amass a lot of the resources around themselves, and then even take what belongs to wananchi and then call themselves leaders. So our problem is leadership at the top. And I hear people saying that they want to fix the bottom, that the bottom, they want the bottom up and all that. But, down here, the wananchi are not the problem. The border guy is not the problem. The mama mboga mama is not the problem. The problem is that they have taken everything that belongs to them and are now pretending that if they get into power, they are going to give it back to Mwananchi. The problem of, at independence, we used to say we have three problems. That is poverty, ignorance, and disease. Now, we have a fourth problem. We not only have the same problems 58 years later.
They are still there, yes.
But now we have a fourth problem. That is corruption and impunity. Yani, in Swahili, tunasema, utadu, utanipeleka wapi. I will do it and you won't do anything.
Yes.
Now, so our values are rotten. We are a valueless society. Mpaka we kill, we steal, and we feel nothing. Now, if a society gets to that kind of point, the elections are not going to solve your problems. If society gets to that kind of place, recycling the same people who promise you a better Kenya will not solve the problem. The first thing is we have to go back to our hearts ourselves and check how have we been choosing people.
Yes.
Yeah. And what kind of people do we choose? Because the Bible says that righteousness exalts a nation.
Yes.
But sin is a reproach to any people, people, not just Kenyans, any group of people that refuses righteousness. You'll find that sin becomes a reproach. And then it says when the righteous are in office, the people rejoice.
Let me ask you, sir.
So our problem is this. We in order to fix Kenya, we need to return to values. To elect leaders that are known to be people of character, people who can tell the truth, people who care about children, about the youth, about women, about persons living with disability, and to stop this noise of choppers and big cars and shambas and media noise. We need to get back to our souls. Come 2022, that is why I'm offering myself, because it's time to do things a bit differently. To elect people maybe from outside government, from those that have not been in power before.
Yes.
Those who live with Mwananchi, those who know where it hurts, those who know what it means to struggle. Where we are today, food is no longer a priority to this government.
Yes.
You can build an SGR, you can build an expressway. You have the money to invest in that, but you don't have money for giving people water, for giving people food, for giving people medicine. Na pesa ya medicine ikija, you also take it. so that as a Mwananchi, yes, you are told to put on a mask, okay? But are you going to choose putting on a mask or buying food? because we have had to come to choose between disease and food, and that is a bad place to be. Yes. So we have to change things. Yes. So to describe for you where we are at a very bad place. And I'm coming back with a solution that goes the reverse of where everybody is going. My issue is to fix the economy of this country. You have to fix the people themselves first.
Yes. This morning, if I may interrupt, sir, you tweeted and said that you are offering a value-based leadership. Well, people should give you an opportunity to set up a value-based government come 2022.
Yes, sir.
Does this mean only offering a president who has values, or it goes beyond even the people you are to work with? Because I understand that most of the times it's not just the president or we could have a president who has a goodwill, but then the people that surround him,
exactly,
the people who are with the ministries and the people who deal directly with the cabinets, they're the people who get us to where we are.
Exactly. So, I cannot form government alone.
Yes, true.
Because I need MCAs, I need MPs, I need senators and governors and women representatives. I need CEOs. I need, CSS that are people of value.
Yes.
But it begins with me, you see.
Yes.
If I associate myself with people that are of questionable character in forming the next government, then we will continue with the same problem. So my current decision to run is such that I'm also asking other people that believe in values to run.
Yes.
What about what were Madili? Let them run for office as MCAs, as senators, as governors, as women reps. Let's have a better crop of leaders. Na hawa watachaguliwa na wananchi. Ndio sababu I come on Praise Radio this morning and say that as citizens we should not conduct our elections the way we have conducted before. Let us ask, do we know this person? Has he stolen anything here? Has he made promises that he has not kept or she has not kept? If they are that kind of people, we should not elect them. So please elect people for me also that are people of value, so that we form a government that can deliver. Otherwise, we'll end up where the current government is, where, even the executive takes parliament hostage. You have state capture, and they're even trying to take over the judiciary.
Yes.
That is not acceptable, because there is separation of powers, yes. That is what our constitution provides for us. But also a king that takes over even the children's bread. A king that will go and borrow, on behalf of an empire or whatever, is a robber. You see, the way we have reached where we have reached as a country, my brother, is you go out and borrow money. Okay, you put Kenya into debt, but you don't consult with mwananchi. So you borrow, you say, okay, nitajenga hii barabara. I'm going to build this road. I'll build this port. I'll build the railway line. But reports come out, and you realize that wananchi who are supposed to use that railway line cannot even afford to travel on the railway line.
You are right. Yes.
So what's the point?
Misplaced priorities.
Yes, and so we keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. We borrow until we borrow locally. So the kind of capital that should flow to common mwananchi is taken by government.
You're right, sir.
Yani serikali inakopa mpaka you have no money to borrow. You remember the days of Kibaki?
Yes.
President Kibaki, where banks were putting tables outside and saying, "John kupe mkopo, come, I'll give you a loan."
You're right.
Because there was cash flow.
Yes.
And people could invest. People could start small scale businesses. Now the government has borrowed all of that money. The interest rates are high.
Yes.
And then everything is so high up there. Fuel, electricity, the price of food. Now, of course, when those things go up, even transport goes up, life goes up, but there are no salaries. People are retrenched. What do you do? So we need a mindset of fixing the economy that is not just about, I'll do this for you, I'll do this for you. There's no point doing anything for anybody if you are not doing it for their good. In other words, kama sina chakula, barabara itanisaidia nini mimi?
That's a question. And I wanted to ask you a question here, because now it is clear that Reuben Kigame is a man to look forward to, and what of course is coming up in the next coming general elections. But I have a question. We have had this saying, the 2-horse race, the three horse race, and I am looking at it like the current state of our of our elections in this nation and the culture we are used to, the handout culture. And I saw you clearly talking about the handout culture. How are you going to maneuver this? One, you tackling this issue about handouts, because sometimes we have people with very good values, but they don't have this money per se to dish out to people, the handouts per se. How are you going to maneuver that? Number two, how are you going to ensure that your horse, if there is something like that, get into this 2-horse race or 3-horse race? How are you preparing your horse?
Okay, good. Very good question. So let me begin with the second question. First of all, that issue of 2-horse race and so on is really a media campaign. It's and most of the politicians are the ones who own these media houses.
Yes.
And so the piper, pays the tune.
Yes.
so we don't want Wananchi to be fooled by 2 horses from candidates, so it can't be 2 horses. But I want every citizen to know that there is at least a third horse.
Yes.
And maybe it's not quite a horse, it's a donkey, because
I love that.
For me, I like to carry Wananchi with me. Hiyo mambo ya farasi kukimbia
na mtu mmoja.
Afadhali nibebe mwananchi na mzigo yake. So there are if there are 2 horses, there is a donkey.
Yes.
Because everyone is busy trying to plan how they will move around the country with choppers, move around with the big trucks and fleets of power.
Yes.
Using money they have stolen. Now, that is why if you see me coming to your village, and I will come, I will come to Mombasa, I will come to the coast and around the country. If you see me coming in my KBY, it's not because I cannot, I cannot run after a KC something.
Or a KDD.
No. It is because that is what I have.
Yes.
Living within your means. Kila mara tunaambia watoto wetu, live within your means. But our government is an expert at, for example, raising 1.6 trillion and then making a budget of 3.62 trillion.
Wow.
So you ask, where are they going to get the So that kind of madness should not be allowed. The whole thing is there is enough for all of us as Kenyans to go around. And there are people who think that because maybe His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta comes from Central Kenya and Deputy comes from Rift Valley. There are people who think that people in Central Kenya and Rift Valley are really living good lives. It's a lie. Because there are so many in Central Kenya, there are so many in Rift Valley, even though the 2 are in office, they are living like hand to mouth, and una wengine hata kupata uji ni shida.
It is true.
So it's not about tribe, it's not about money, it's about where do you put mwananchi. Is mwananchi first ama wewe tumbo yako ndio first? So in order to deal with this whole thing of handout culture, we have to go back to character. I don't think we as mwananchi will be helping ourselves if we elect back the same people who come to us in choppers using money they have stolen. We put them back, they will put aside the choppers and go and steal some more.
You are right.
So that they come and give. In fact, what is happening in Kiambaa is very sad, my friend. What is happening in the by-elections, it is so sad because we know money is exchanging hands.
Yes.
Tunaita kizorani ya pesa. This guy mpaka inashindikana wakati gani sasa pesa zitaingia hapa. Because now inasema now sasa itaonekana hapa. So it is so dirty. In fact, when I was being told that as a presidential candidate I shouldn't use more than 5 billion, Nilikuwa nasema huyo ametoa hiyo habari afungwe kwa sababu how does a human being in Kenya afford even $1 billion
wow, to use for campaigns?
To use for campaigns.
That actually has been the worry, because now there is this culture that is in people's mind that you have to use all these billions for you to, if you need to campaign, most of our presidential whatever, you have to have all these billions to dish out in the counties, to dish out to the wananchi. Now breaking that culture it's what now we are discussing this morning.
It is so easy, my brother. It is so easy because let me give you an example. You know, for most of these politicians to be on air, you know, they hide the journalists. Now, Nitafuta, you've looked at me because you've heard about my agenda or about my information, and you put me on air. What money did I pay you for you to put me on air? Nothing.
Yes, it's all about values.
So once people, you see now, it means that you people have put values ahead. But if we were to pay to get an interview, we would not even be on Praise Radio.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, we have to come to that point, and it is you and me. Now, the way you and I have agreed that Mwananchi will hear this information without any corruption in between. It can work. It can work. It is Mwananchi refusing to bribe.
Yes.
Saying you'd rather get me to court.
Talking about corruption, sir. We want to take a musical break for a few minutes, and then when we come back, utatuambia kama lipo tumaini kweli, and we will be getting to the corruption issue, because you have said very clearly that you're looking to also form a government with zero tolerance to corruption.
Zero tolerance.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. So you'll be telling us more about that when we return. Coming up is Lipo Tumaini, of course, by Reuben Kigame and Sifa Voices.
Najivika jezi wasia kudondoa kama Ayubu wa Uzi kwa waloti wa doa. Umeshakatwa mizizi isikilala dongoni. Lipo tumaini. Kwa mti ulokatwa. Maana ukikatwa utachipuka tena. Mwambie dada Jemima
Wamekupa kisogo, karibu endani,
ole kaka
kote ni sogo,
zogo
mbinguni kitandani.
Kima moyo piga konde machokazi ya mbinguni. Lipo tumaini.
Tumaini lipo,
Mti ulokatwa.
maana ukikatwa,
Utachipuka tena. Utachipuka tena. Halo halo. Jasho lichuruza kakubariki Jalali, muika kwa ruza ikapotea mali.
Lipo Tumaini there by Reuben Kigame. We will be finishing with this song. If you're just joining us, we are having Reuben Kigame on board, and of course, this is Praise Radio, and you're listening to the Spotlight Show that comes to you every Friday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Of course, with Migi Tonga and
Pastor Elijah Waini. It's exciting to have on board Reuben Kigame mwenyewe. You know, he is on board this morning, and we looked for him because of the various that we know he stands for. He has the various, and definitely we need to hear him out. We need to have him, we need to give him this airtime, of course, to tell us the many things that he has for the Mwananchi as he looks forward, of course, to facing the other horses as we have discussed here in the year 2022. And I love it because we've talked about the rising standard of living. We've touched on a few things about the state of our politics in Kenya. We've talked about the handout culture, and now we are to discuss about corruption in our nation. Reuben Kigame, welcome back, and thank you so much for creating time for Praise Radio this morning. What is your take on corruption? Your take on corruption?
First of all, sorry, when you played the song, I decided to take a bite at a mutungo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so on corruption, first of all, you know, we use big words for nothing. The word corruption is big for nothing. There is even another one, we say graft, you know, but unajua, these two words stand for one thing.
Yes.
Theft,
yes.
Wezi. Those who are corrupt are thieves. And you see, nobody in society really celebrates a thief.
No one.
No. But we pretend because they are in government they can get away with it. You know?
They're intelligent.
So let me give you the example. So we say that, you know, we have a pandemic and we need, you know, PPEs and masks, and we need medicines, we need oxygen. So we get donations in order to pay for those things. Then somebody decides Mwananchi is not going to get treated.
Yes.
These PPEs are nini, masks are nini. So the money meant for that is either taken ama when those things appear, like we saw in some media reports, zinauzwa. So, and then the money is pocketed by somebody. That is killing your own people.
You are right, yes.
Because there are doctors who have died. There are people who have lost their loved ones who could have been helped because of oxygen, because of PPEs, because of masks. Then the irony of it is we know, for example, there is a pandemic, and corruption is not just about stealing people's property and money. It's also stealing people's lives. Because, for example, on June 1, there was a big rally held in Kisumu.
Yes.
Yeah, you are right, yes.
Madaraka.
You are right, yes.
Yes. Now, we knew that at that point, we had an issue in Kisumu with what they were calling the Indian variant of COVID. Sasa unajua kuna hiyo shida. Na unajua ukipeleka mkutano huko, things are going to happen. And people are going to get infected. And you know that Mwananchi gets excited when he sees political rallies.
Yes.
Especially the big leaders. Now, then you insist that you're going to have that rally. Because you want to spread BBI, you want to launch projects and so on. But what is happening to Western Kenya now? You affect not just Kisumu, but
even the
all the
neighboring
surrounding counties. Some people have died. Some people have had to go to hospital. There was a time I was tweeting and saying that the government needs to be compelled. Nivila too, I'm not rich enough to go to court. But the government needed to be compelled to pay for all those hospital bills and to also meet the funeral expenses of those who died because of that COVID.
You are right.
Yeah, because they're the ones who brought the disease and death to the people.
Largely they are responsible.
It is so bad. And I kept tweeting. In fact, like 2 weeks before the rallies, I kept tweeting. And I would tag even State House and the DP and Raila, I would ask, what wisdom is there? If you check my Twitter handle, I have those tweets there. What is the wisdom of still insisting on holding the rally when you know that people are going to be infected? Who was listening? Nobody.
True.
Very unfortunate.
I think we need to get such people out of office. Let people who love Mwananchi, who care about decisions that will affect Mwananchi for the better, get into office and lead this country. That's why I want to lead the country.
Yes.
Wow.
I do want to lead the country because people must come first. Yes, God first and then people. You can't put yourself between God and the people. No.
Wow.
It is not accepted. So corruption is about theft. And when I get into office from day one, that is going to be one of my big things. I want not just to lead by example, by indeed sacking or jailing some people that are proven, to be corrupt. But I also want money stolen to be returned.
Money stolen to be returned.
Oh, those who are in court that have been found by the DCI or the Anti-Corruption Commission to actually have violated by stealing. We want the courts to expedite that process and try them so we can jail them.
You are right.
Yes.
Let me ask you you mentioned BBI. What is your take on BBI? What is your take on this document called BBI?
To answer your question on BBI, I need to tell you that I am a convener, one of the conveners of Linda Katiba Initiative. I work very closely with Martha Karua, Jerotich Sei, Ndi, Boniface Mwangi, Daisy Amdani. We work together to defend the integrity of our Constitution of 2010. And so, you know that we put cases in court, and the High Court ruled in our favor.
Yes.
So it's throughout that it is an illegal process. Illegal at several ways. Number one, the only way to amend a constitution is through, popular initiative or parliament.
Yes.
But the initiators of this process were not the populace. It was not the people, and it was not parliament. It was President Uhuru Kenyatta and his big brother Raila Odinga. So two people in the executive or close to leadership initiate and then say this is a Mwananchi initiative. That is a big lie. Then they use state machinery, to be able to popularize and to force this thing. If in fact money exchanged hands, MCAs were given car loans.
You're right, yes.
So that they can pass the BBI. That is bribery. I mean, if that is not bribery, what is?
It is, yes.
Wacha tuwape ni vile Yesu aliuzwa. The 30 pieces of silver.
Yes.
So take these 2 million, put in the document. That is corruption.
It is, yes.
It is bad. And Kenyans are not angry enough. I wish we were angry enough to say, you can't do that. And that's why, by the way, John Jomue, the lawyer John Jomue, has put me as one of the signatories for an account that he has opened for us to compel those who received those car grants to return the money.
You are right, because that money...
We have an opened account in Thika, waiting. So we are pushing. That money belongs to Mwananchi, irudishwe.
Wow. A great initiative there.
I am that angry against BBI. And then the other thing, the way the signatures were gathered. Let me give you the example of a taxi driver that carries me every so often. And Jina Lake, his name was on the list of the so-called 4 to 5 million signatures. Plus his ID number, plus his signature. He never signed a document.
Wow.
That integrity question. So we are asking, how did they collect signatures? Chiefs were used. Government organs were used. Government officials were used in order to collect signatures. That is abuse of power. It is not the people who signed. There was coercion. There was fraud. So it's in the Court of Appeal.
Wow.
Now,
it will be okay. Sorry.
it is not possible, legally speaking, it is not possible for that thing to go through.
Wow.
Because there are timelines,
Mhm.
and we are pretty close to violating the timelines as well.
Yes.
So chances are, legally, unajua nasema legally kwa sababu tukifuata sheria, it may not go through.
Wow.
But imagine spending money on BBI. That's why I kept putting on those videos. If you watch my YouTube channel, I have videos challenging the government. What is the wisdom in spending money on BBI when people have no masks, when people have no food, when people are being retrenched? There is no wisdom. This is a wrong government. It is an illegitimate government.
Looking at how the
An immoral government.
Yes. Mr.
It
Reuben,
needs to be out.
let me ask you, sir.
Yes.
Looking at the history of the judiciary in the recent past, very recent past, and how they have been coerced and used by the government itself to get on some people, do you trust the same system to deliver justice on this process, on the BBI process? Of course, I know the High Court then stood on their ground, and of course, you know what followed after that. And now we are in the Court of Appeal. Do you trust the judicial system to deliver justice on this process?
I don't trust any human system. However,
Yes.
there are some good things that Martha Koome, Honorable
The
Martha
Chief
Koome, Chief Justice, could be a voice of reason.
Yes.
So I have a bit of hope, humanly speaking, there.
Yes.
But I also know that the executive had indicated that they would revisit this judiciary issue
Yes.
in view of what happened in 2017.
Absolutely.
So you know, as a thinker, I have to put two and two together
Yes.
to know the hostility. Justice Maraga actually declared Parliament, for example, illegal.
Illegal.
That has been swept under the carpet. Grace. That's why I trust in God more than people.
Yes.
And that's why even as I step out to run for office, my confidence is in this God of truth, this God of justice, the one who says in Micah 6:8, he has taught you, O man, what is right. And what does the Lord require of you? But to love justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. So that is why I'm confident that putting myself out as a voice of the voiceless, as a representative of those who are impoverished, that with God's help and with their votes, we can win this election in 2 hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Let me give you an opportunity, sir, to share with us in 2 or 3 minutes. Of course, that I know that is kidogo, but your vision, that the outright vision for this nation that you have for this nation, the people who are listening to you right now. Definitely, we have heard and we have listened to you talk about the solutions, which is powerful. What is your vision for this nation?
Yeah.
If you are to get to the top, and it's a matter of when, I believe, when you get to the top of the leadership in this nation, what is this vision that you have for the nation?
Okay, so first of all, a vision is what you see. And although I am blind, sometimes I think I see some things that people who have eyes don't see.
You are right, sir.
In fact, there is a writer of literature called Shakespeare who said in King Lear, Act 4, Scene 6, he says that a man may see how this world goes without eyes. So my vision, what I see is a Kenya of values that puts God first and people next.
Put God's first and people's next.
So that's the vision. But in order to get there, what I would like now to call my mission, what I want to do for the people,
Yes.
first of all, I want to fight with all my might the whole issue of hunger. I want to declare war on hunger. Because it is not acceptable that we got independence and 58 years later, a woman in Kisauni is boiling stones in order to deceive the children that it is food.
Mm.
It is not acceptable. Nobody should be in office in Kenya as long as that is happening.
Mm.
The average college graduate, so many call me and they say, Reuben, I'm not even looking for a job. I can't even work. I'm so hungry. Just give me some money. At least ninunue turungi.
Wow.
Sad.
This
sad.
is a
Very
graduate.
sad. Very sad.
It is bad. It is so bad.
Mm.
You know, I looked at Turkana
Mm-hmm.
on the index that came out this week. Turkana is right at the bottom of the poverty ladder, followed by Mandera, going, from down going up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and this is a county that has oil.
Yes.
Very unfortunate.
This is a county that has a lot of goats and sheep. Some of the sweetest nyama choma would come from there.
Yes.
But their animals don't have water.
You are right.
When I drive to Turkana, people don't even ask me for food. They ask me for water first, because water is life.
Mm.
But underneath the Turkana soils are millions of liters of water.
Mm.
So what if we just made it accessible for their flocks and for them to drink, bath, and have dignity, and then some of them will do some basic farming.
You are right, yes.
What is the point of distributing food to Turkana when we can make Turkana self-sufficient?
Mm.
So I want to fight hunger. The second thing is I want to be sure that every Kenyan has access at least to a dispensary, if nothing else.
The health sector.
Yes, health.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about these big names of universal health care. It's important for us to go on to NHIF and have it accessible for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what is NHIF if there is no hospital or dispensary near you?
You are right, yes.
So you get meningitis, or you get malaria, you get typhoid, and you can't even get to a facility.
You are right.
So some parts of this country have too many facilities. Then there are others you have to literally walk, because there are also no roads to be able to get the nearest. So I want health services close to the people. Thirdly, I would like to be able to concentrate on youth employment.
Youth employment.
They are the ones with the energy. The Bible says, I write to you, young men, because you are strong. They have the energy. They have the skills. They have trained. Why should somebody with a master's degree be driving an Uber? Not that it is bad. I'm not saying it's bad. Why should somebody with an economics degree be driving a border? Because we have taken all these jobs and then given them to ghost workers. We have, impoverished the young people to the point where degrees mean nothing. That's why, by the way, I don't even believe that for a person to be a leader, they need to have a degree. No. They need to have character and they need to have wisdom to make decisions. So first, food. Let's deal with food. Let's deal with health. Let's deal with jobs. And then now we can deal with education. If you are full, you have eaten, and you are healthy, you can work.
You can work.
You can work. But if you are hungry, you are unhealthy, utafanya kazi wapi?
Hakuna.
So, and when people work, we produce, we will get the economy strong.
Wow. Very, very,
so
very.
I can go on and so on. And there are things, of course, I want to stop debt. I want to stop borrowing. I want to actually outlaw most of the projects that what we call white elephants. I want to stop projects and redirect money to where the people are. What's the point of someone in Nyandarua cultivating and growing potatoes and they can sell them because they have no access
to the market?
To the market. Where the cabbages are being fed to animals. What is the point? Mangoes are rotting in Marakwet. Why not put up a Jewish factory in Marakwet? It's just simple. It's not rocket science. We have so many resources. Nairobi hakuna maji, by the way. And yet every year God gives us free rain. What is this?
And we are not able to harvest that.
We are not harvesting. Even what we are given for free.
Wow.
We are concentrating on hydroelectric generation of power, God has given us free sunshine. Why not invest more in solar?
In solar power.
So, kuna vitu tu mi naona. I mean, the things I see that people have refused to see.
I love this discussion, sir. Thank you so much. And I have been able to capture food. I have been able to capture the healthcare. I've also been able to capture the jobs for the youths, the education
And I hope
system.
you captured the issue of corruption and ending debt.
Yes,
I did.
I'm going to fight corruption and aid to fight it.
Yes. I've also captured that, and of course we have discussed about corruption at length, and then of course the stopping of the borrowing. Thank you so much, sir. This has been very informative. It's an honor and a privilege to have you speak to us on Praise
And
Radio.
I hope, my brother, I hope that you people come out in August next year and support me. But most importantly,
Yes.
even to get there, I want to be the people's president. So, because I don't have all these choppers, I don't have all these huge trucks, maybe somebody has a truck I can use.
Yes.
Anipigie simu. Maybe somebody can mobilize for me. Anipigie simu.
Yes.
Maybe somebody can support me with 1,000 bob so that I can put airtime for my secretariat. You know, I have a pay bill number. They can certainly send it to that pay bill number so that we get this thing to Shinde by 8 a.m. by God's grace.
You are right. And of course, here at Praise Radio, we will stand with you. Thank you so much. We have bought your vision and of course the values that you have. It is interesting, and we are on board on this. And we will do this together, sir. It's such an honor and a privilege to speak to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Lakini
you.
patia wananchi pay bill number. Unajua
which
kunaweza
is-
kuwa na moja.
tell me.
Kunaweza kuwa na moja anaweza kunisaidia.
The
Ni
pa-
80
80
41415.
41415
Alafu account number anaandika tu 2022.
2022 is the account number. Account
Tutakuwa
number.
kama Obama alichangiwa pesa mpaka akasema wacha imetosha.
Kabisa. And this is good. Thank you, sir. I love our discussion about the handouts. This is where now we support our own who has
Yes.
values to get up there. The roles are overturned. It's time for us as
Amen.
wananchi to put our very own on top there. Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough, Gitonga and I. It's been an honor and a privilege this morning having you speak to us here on Praise Radio, all the way from Mombasa,
Thank you.
Kenya. Thank you so much, sir. And we wish
God
you
bless you, sir.
the very best from here.
Thank you.
On
God bless you.
behalf-
Thank you for the opportunity.
Let me say this on behalf of Bishop T, who is the vision bearer of this media station. Thank you one more time. God bless you.
Bless you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Of course, that has been Reuben Kigame, and an inclusive interview there. And there's a lot that this guy has said. And if you have listened, he speaks so passionately about this nation. And of course, these are things that we hope to follow up with and make sure that you are updated. And of course, if you wish to be part of this blessing and support his vision, of course, he has given his pay bill number is 8041415 and the account number is 2022. If you wish to be a blessing to this man's life, of course, in his vision for the presidency, that is the pay bill number and the account number. Thank you for keeping us company. This has been the Spotlight Show with, of course, Pastor Elijah and Gitonga. Until next time, God bless you and have a great weekend.
God bless.
Hakika lipo tumaini. Reuben Kigame.